Good morning, children. Last week I discussed chapter 1, the medieval world, with you. I hope you have revised the chapter and completed the given assignment. Children, if you have any doubt regarding chapter 1, then you are free to ask. Now let's move on. Children, today I'm going to start chapter 2, Spread of Christianity. In this chapter, we will discuss how the ancient Roman Empire started disintegrating and divided into two parts, about the barbarian invasions, and we will also discuss the Crusades and their effects in medieval Europe and the impact of Christian monasteries in different fields. But before that, let's discuss the meanings of key terms used in the chapter. First one is barbarian. Children, in former times, barbarians were people from other countries or culture who were thought to be uncivilized and inferior. Next is feudalism. It was a form of government based on land holding. The king granted land in exchange for military support. Next is missionary. A person who goes out and tries to spread a religious belief. Early Christianity was spread by missionaries and merchants. Next is monks. Monks were priests who devoted their lives to the service of God and humanity. They lived in monasteries and did not marry. Nuns were women who devoted their lives to the service of God and humanity. They lived in nunneries or convents and did not marry. The last one is Renaissance. Children, in Old French, Renaissance means rebirth or revival. It can be revival or rebirth of thoughts, of culture, of learning. It was the period in Europe between the 14th and 16th century CE, when people became interested in the ideas and culture of ancient Greece and Rome and used these influences in their own art, literature, etc. Children, in chapter 1, we read that Christianity became the official religion of the Roman Empire towards the end of the 4th century CE. But the mighty Roman Empire began to disintegrate in the 5th century CE. However, the missionaries succeeded in saving and spreading Christianity throughout the world, mainly in Europe. The monasteries played an important role in the spread of Christianity. Now let's discuss the barbarian invasion. Children, one important reason for the fall of the great empire was the repeated attacks by the various Germanic tribes such as the Goths, the Vandals, and the Franks. These tribes plundered and ravaged the Roman territories, and the Christians were severely persecuted. Persecuted means punished or killed. Gradually, these tribes settled down and took control over the western part of the Roman Empire. The second reason for the disintegration of the mighty Roman Empire was the political and economic crisis. Increase in poverty, decrease in business, and weakening of the central authority accelerated its downfall. As a result, the mighty Roman Empire was split into two parts, the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire in 395 CE. The eastern part came to be known as Byzantium. Its capital was Constantinople, which is modern Istanbul, that is in Turkey. So the unity of Western Europe ended, but one uniting factor was Christianity and the Roman Church. The eastern part, that is the Byzantium Empire, was also attacked by the barbarian tribes, but it successfully faced the enemies. Spread of Christianity. The Germanic tribes that overran Italy left the Church of Rome unharmed. The Church was allowed to retain its spiritual power over all the Christians. By about 900 CE, in every European state, Christianity became the state religion, and with this, the power and wealth of the Church multiplied. The another reason for the spread of Christianity were the Christian monks. They organized themselves into religious order and built monasteries where the monks lived and pursued their religious mission. Gradually, The monasteries became great centers of art, literature, and religious studies that we will discuss later on. The church built world famous universities like Cambridge and Oxford. The wealth and the power of the church increased, and it became increasingly conservative and demanding from every Christian unqualified obedience, loyalty, and total submission to its dictates. Dictate means to its order. Now let's discuss the Crusades. Children, Crusades means the holy wars. In the 11th century AD, the Muslim Turks invaded the lands of the Christian emperor of Constantinople. Earlier, they had captured Jerusalem, which was a part of the Holy Land of the Christians. In order to recover their Holy Land, the Pope appealed to all the Christians to join the Crusades or the Holy Wars. The Christians led 8 military expeditions against the Turks between the 11th and the 13th centuries. The Crusades failed to achieve their main objectives, but they brought several changes in medieval Europe. Now let's discuss the effects of Crusades. As I said, the Crusades did not achieve their main objectives, but the Crusades had effects in the whole Europe. The first effect is the advent of the Renaissance. During their travel to the Holy Land, the Crusaders came in contact with the cultures of the Greeks and Turks. They assimilated the best elements of these advanced cultures. It revived the Western education and thus paved the ways for Renaissance. The next effect was the economic prosperity. By means of the Crusades, direct trade contact with other parts of the world was re-established. The Crusaders saw the luxurious lifestyle of the East and started copying it. European traders began to establish trade links with the East to meet the demand for these items of luxury. This led to increase in trade, as a result of which economies started flourishing. The third effect was the Crusaders learned the use of gun and gunpowder. The Crusaders learned the use of gun and gunpowder from the Turks, and these two discoveries contributed to the decline of feudalism and increased the authority of the king. And the last effect was the decline of feudalism. As we discussed earlier in this chapter, the meaning of feudalism, that the government based on landholding. The traders and manufacturers demanded better conditions of law and order, and they paid taxes to the king and helped him to raise a large army. This led to an increase in the power of the king and decline in the powers of the feudal lords. Now, monasteries and their impact. Children, every religion has its promoters or preachers who are dedicated to spread the teachings of their religion. Similarly, the monks played an important part in spreading the teachings of Jesus. By the end of the 5th century CE, churches had been established in almost every village, town, and city. The monks and nuns devoted their entire lives to spiritual matters and to the service of humanity. The places where monks lived came to be known as monasteries, and the nuns lived in a separate monasteries known as nunneries or convents. A monastery was usually a large, strong, and simple building. Life in the monasteries was simple and orderly. Now, the role of Christian monasteries in medieval Europe. The monasteries and the monks and missionaries attached with them left their impression on every aspect of the lives of the people of those times. They affected their life in the following ways. Children, during Middle Ages, there were no schools or churches. The churches were the only centers of education where monks and nuns taught in Latin. Initially, education was restricted to theology and philosophy. Later on, the monasteries developed a course of study which included secular subjects as well. The important subjects introduced were grammar, logic, arithmetic, geometry, astronomy, and music. As a result, education started reaching the common man. Children, the monks and nuns also prepared handwritten copies of many ancient Greek and Roman classics because at that time there were no printing press and paper. The monks wrote books by hand on parchment. Most of the books were copies of the Bible and prayer books and copies of Latin and Greek books on secular subjects. These books were a very useful source of knowledge of the ancient and medieval civilizations in Europe. Children, the monks also took care of the poor, homeless, and destitute. In the later Middle Ages, friars who did not live in monasteries but moved from place to place undertook this job. They helped the peasants by giving them good advice and taught the Christian code of conduct to the common people. Monks led simple and holy life and taught people to be good and right. They set an example and inspired people by their simple behavior to behave in a similar way. The monasteries brought the barren land under cultivation and made productive. In monasteries, they developed different kinds of art form like architecture, mural painting, wood carving, and stained glass painting. Monasteries provided shelter to travelers and gave food and clothing to the poor and needy. They grew medicinal herbs in their gardens, which created new interest in botany. The greatest contribution of the monastery was in the field of education. Some of these monasteries later developed into famous secular universities such as the universities of Oxford and Cambridge. With this, we come to the end of this chapter. Now your assignment for this week is to revise the chapter and also write down the question answers given in the PDF in your history register and learn them. I hope you have already done the question answers of chapter 1. And children, if you have any doubt regarding chapter 2, please ask. Thank you and take care.